Hey guys, JP here again. So I did this yesterday, finished off the magnetic speaker pod. That was a bunch of bull. It was not fun, but taking all those 6 little magnets and gluing them in, they have separate poles, so they have north and south poles on magnets, so you got to be careful so you can keep track of them so you don't end up gluing the wrong poles in and then they repel each other. So you want to make sure they stick like this. So that's how this pod's going to work out. It's going to stick on and remove so you can access the property board USB. It's a pretty good design. I like it. Pal's Power Ups did that. So anyway, so I got to finish this today. So I've got the speaker sides all mounted, speakers all wired on the inside to that PCB. This little slot here, I've got to this little tiny pin here, 2-pin deal, is going to be glued and wired into this side to contact the speaker PCB on the other side. So I'm going to pre-test fit this. Always pre-test fit everything. Stuff does not always come out the way it's supposed to when it's being 3D printed. And that is going to fit, and I don't want to push it anymore because I'm not going to be able to get it back out until I'm done mounting it. Because you can see what is the wire is going to go in through the front and on a 90-degree come out the top. So I don't want to push this in until I'm ready. But it does fit, so I just wanted to be able to see if the body fit. All, fits halfway, it's going to fit all the way. So what I did, just like the speaker, I've got red and white 28 gauge wire, which is fine for speaker. And I just kind of estimated that, go up through that hole, come out, and still have room for the property board. I got plenty. You always want to cut more than have it too short. That's definitely the best thing to do. So I'm going to trim these wires now. Both ends. Actually, I'll do it both ends. I was going to say I don't have to do both ends till I'm ready for the property board, but I'm just going to go ahead and do them. And I'm going to take off. Let's see. I don't really know how much I want to take off here. Not much. Doesn't take much. That's probably good. It's probably like 2 millimeters. Same on the other side. A little bit more on that one. Okay, that's the negative. Here's the positive. That's good. I'll twist those. They're really fine wires, so you don't have to twist too much, just a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to pre-tin those. Pre-tin this tip here. A little bit of flux on there. Okay. Should be heated by now. There we go. I don't think it was hot enough yet. cooperate today. Only going to tin one side of those right now. Don't need to tin both. I'll just dip that actually. So, take it in your flux. Okay, that's tin. So, the way this is going to work is the center circle there is positive, the outer ring is negative. And I've already lined it up. You want to always check your lining up. When it's facing, there's the top of the chassis. So the bottom, the pin closest to the bottom is center. So that's going to be my positive. So what I want to do is I got this little pin. Turn this so the bottoms are facing up. And I'm going to dab a little tiny bit of flux on that. Okay. I'm just going to pre-tin this a little bit. There we go. That's a little too much. Don't want that much solder. Tiny, 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 tiny bit. Oop. Didn't have it on the alligator clips good enough. Already got one pre-tinned. I'll flip it around. There we go. So you can see the one, well, the one closer to the inside of the alligator clip is already tinned. I'm going to do the other one. Tiny, tiny bit of solder. There we go. I like that. That's better. There we go. Perfect. As you can see that, but both of those tips are tinned, solder on them. Ready to go with the wiring. This is going to be a little tricky. So, because the wire's got to go straight in and then 90. So I don't want to I don't really want to do that. I kind of want to go up as as much as I can. So I'm going to get this kind of on an angle. Get this positive wire stuck. There we go. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Remember, it's going to be glued in, so as long as it's sturdy. It's really tiny, this thing. There we go. Whoa. Shot out of there like a cannonball. Okay. A little tricky. I think I'm going to add a little more solder to that. Don't want this to bridge. Knew that was going to happen. There we go. This is really hard working tiny stuff like this, guys. I mean, I don't care about anybody soldering. This is going to be tough. So I don't know if you can see that, but I mean, it's really small. So that's the connector for the speaker. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to push this off the side here. Feed these up through that hole there. I'm going in 90. It's going to be fun, but I'm going to kind of put a bend on them, even though they're rubberized. So there's the positive. Okay. And then kind of hold that, put a 90, hold just a bend on the negative, and try to fish that out. It's gonna be hard because it's that positive's already in there and it's taking up room. It's not gonna be easy. There it is. Takes a little working. That was a little tough getting them because they're real flimsy because they're silicone wire. But you just got to work it a little bit. And I just want to make sure that's the top of the chassis, that the positive pins on the bottom down toward here. So I'm kind of straighten them up as I go. don't want to break those. There we go. There we go. And I didn't really have to glue it. You can probably put a tiny dab of super glue in there, but I'm not even going to glue it because it's tight enough. And it's not going in, and you're not going to be, you know, the magnets stick, but when you pull it apart, these springs aren't going to be pulled outward. So that's that. So basically, those pins, positives on the bottom, positives down here, negatives on the top, positives in the center, which is going to hit right down there. And you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but their pins are touching. There's your connection. Alright, so that's all I'm doing for this video. Just show you it's not easy. There's a lot of tedious little work involved in this conversion. And then see that hole right there? That's going to be for the battery contacts to run down through, come out to profit board, which is going to sit right here. So, alright guys, well, another step in the conversion process. The speaker pod is finished, and we'll continue from here. Alright, have a good one.